1:02 p.m. on the East Coast, and we've got a really good show. I first want to let you know that, one, ignoring the negative issues that are plaguing our society means that you'll get much more of the same, guys. And we need to make sure that we take a look at some of this stuff, and we're going to be digging in live. We're going to do a live dig with you guys on the Epstein releases, and we're going to talk about the 302s. But first, I want to bring on my partner in justice, Shady Grooove. Shady.
Hey, Matrixxx. Hey, Anons. Everyone out there worldwide. Man, wow. What we've got on our plate today is pretty huge. Plus, Carly is here.
Yes, we've got Carly, and before we bring Carly on, I want to basically we're gonna do this promo real quick, and we'll be right back with the C60. Ready? Okay, guys. Before we get going with our show, I'd like to share how a soccer ball shaped, indestructible, super antioxidant arrangement of carbon molecules can extend your lifespan. Sounds complicated, right? It really isn't. It's called C60. And C60 selectively neutralizes the most toxic free radicals in your body that cause aging. Toxic free radicals can no longer hide. That's because C60 hunts them down and extinguishes them. A 2012 study found lifespan almost doubled in rats given C60. And the toxicity in their body drops significantly. People who take C60 report their hair returns to its usual color, vision gets clearer, and physical energy is sustained throughout the day. They also report increased libido and clearer, smoother skin. You're a patriot with high standards, right? Like me. The highest of standards. You will be pleased to know the C60 at ApexHealth.club is suspended in high-grade olive oil and made with superior 99.99% vacuum oven filtered carbon. That's free from solvents, guys. In a quality control environment to ensure that this product meets the highest standards out there. Apex Health is Patriot-owned. That's ApexHealth.club. And use the promo code intheMatrixxx with 3 X's. Again, ApexHealth.club with promo code intheMatrixxx. The link is in the description box below. Get your C60 today. Thank you very much to C60 for sponsoring us this week. We really, really do appreciate it. Get it over to apexhealth.club. Get over there. They've got more than just the C60. They've got a ton of other stuff for you guys to look at. It's all quality. It's all been vetted by Patriots. Patriots help Patriots. This is a Patriot-owned business. Use the code intheMatrixxx with 3 X's, as you know. Shady.
Yes, I actually have been taking the C60 for a little while now, and I'm pretty impressed with the results of it as far as the kind of keeps me up and awake and alert all day, as opposed to kind of running down a little bit in the afternoon. So really great product, and very easy to take with the coconut oil. That's what I got, was the one with the coconut oil. And after looking into their products, there's a lot of great stuff over there. So please support these guys, because this is what Patriots supporting Patriots looks like.
Awesome. And we'd like to welcome Carly Bonet. Carly, come on in.
Yeah. Hey, Carly.
I've been working on a couple of them. Would you prefer this one?
Wait, let me hear.
That one? Or maybe, let me see if I can. How about that one?
I kind of like the first one.
I like the first one,
Or this
definitely.
I got a couple. I've been up all night doing dun dun duns.
You have not.
I have. Listen.
I have. Listen.
How about this one? Yeah, I like that one. Boom. Carly, welcome to the show.
But you're gonna do a different one. How about da 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 da?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I still think works the best. I mean, I got more.
I think that one's got the best bite.
That one. How about this one? I got a lot
I don't
more,
know,
Shady.
those make me feel fat.
I was up all night doing these for you guys.
You're insane.
You like that one? Cag likes that one. Guys, thank you very much. Welcome, Carly. We have got quite the show. As you know, I just want to make you guys aware that at 17:17 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast, right? That was Eastern. That's what Eastern means. So never mind. That's a little double talk there. But 17:17 Eastern Time, the Matrixxx Groove Hour. This show will go on to Periscope/Twitter, and you can share that with everybody on your Twitter, guys. Let's get this show out there. And thank you guys. I've noticed an uptick in views with you guys sharing this show. Please keep it up. Please keep sharing this show. Our views are being censored. Our subscribers are being censored. Make sure that you're still subscribed too, guys. And thank you guys very much for coming.
I think we're hitting them on the fronts, Matrixxx. We're actually pushing through on their censors. I think that we're beating the censors back. What do you think about that?
I think we are, and it's because of you guys out. It's because of Sandy
That's what
out
I'm
there.
saying.
Alyssa.
Exactly. They're so absolutely loyal that we're breaking the censors.
Sophie Harrison says sharing is caring, and it really is. It really is. And Esther's daughter Long says, sure will, Matrixxx. Thank you. Thumb it up, guys. Thumb this video up. Watch it 5 times too. I'm just kidding. But you guys.
No, YouTube doesn't give me the alerts for your videos anymore. They're not even in my feed.
No, they don't give anybody the alerts.
Of course not. They don't.
Crazy. I've never seen such a thing.
They don't like us. I want to really quick, Ann Vandersteel got this in the mail. We won't change the mind of Trump supporters with facts, logic, or appeals of decency. If they could be influenced by these things, they wouldn't be Trump supporters. But we outnumber them, and we can show up and vote in dead caskets because really we outnumbered them because it was the dead vote this November. And every November from now on, dun, dun, dun. How's that?
That's pretty good. That's exactly how you would read that. Yes, for sure.
I love when you read. I love when you read.
You like that? You like that? So get that tweet out. I mean, that was mailed.
We're gonna fight truth with facts.
No.
Or facts with truth.
Well, let's hear what Joe Biden says. Hang on.
Oh, let's see.
Please, not again.
Wait, let's find it out. Where is he? Oh my gosh, hang on.
No, really, this is unbelievable.
Here he is, right here. Okay, ready?
It's not a joke. It is a joke.
Division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
Yeah.
So folks,
Oh, it's truth.
if you're interested, join me. I could use the help because
truth over facts, and everybody like.
I can use the help.
You cannot make this up.
And look, it's brought to you by the Patriots soapbox. Look at. Look at that.
Truth over facts.
Look at where it says soapbox. OMG, yo. Okay, I'm sorry.
division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
Yeah.
So folks,
Everybody.
if you're interested, join me. I could use
And a kid with a tinfoil hat.
It's like, wait, what? I mean, they just cheered him mindlessly,
She
guys.
blinded me with science.
You blinded me with science.
And I want to just let you know right here, off-duty firefighter stops man armed with 100 rounds of ammunition at South Springfield Walmart, guys. And it doesn't matter. You know how they had to say off-duty firefighter? How about any other person that has the right to conceal their arms can stop these things, guys?
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
You have to remember,
exactly.
these people only want the guns in the hands of their skull bags.
The biggest gun-free zones are the most dangerous places.
That's right.
It's just simple math, man. I mean, if they would show people the truth or tell them the truth on the TV instead of lie to them every single time they opened their mouth, people would understand what the heck was going on out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's all lies, every single bit of it. I mean, all of the virtues. Oh my God! For the last what has been a week now almost, it's like no one is talking about the victims. No one is talking about the problem. No one ever speaks about the mental issues with every single crazy shooter and taking psychotropic drugs. No one talks about it on the news.
The children of the corn have been released.
Man, it is.
Yeah.
That was pretty quick.
She blinded me with science. Dun dun dun. Instead of
truth versus facts. I mean, truth.
All right. Okay.
Fool me once, and it's my fault.
Fool me twice. Fool me. Just fool me.
Just keep fooling
All
me.
right. And I really quick want to just tell you guys, you know, what we're witnessing is totally like a satanic mindset of what they're doing to our culture today.
Correct.
And, you know, it shouldn't be left versus right. It should be right versus wrong.
Correct.
Okay? And if something is wrong, it is immoral and shouldn't be happening, guys. Period.
And it doesn't have anything to do with which party the person who is doing it has affiliation with.
If we have a deep understanding of morality, you know, the principles concerning, you know, all of this distinction between right versus wrong behavior, that would be the very heart of taking our country back, guys.
That would be the point, yes.
So, you know, a lot of things like there's you know, force and violence. You know, everybody says, and you know, I'm quoting Mark Passio, and this guy is very amazing, by the way, and I think Q is talking about him quite a bit. I'd love to get him on the show, but he was talking about force and violence and natural law. People don't even know what the word violence means. Like, we think that there's violence at a boxing match, Shady.
Nope.
But that's actually very untrue. It is force. It's force. It's two people with their own will going into a ring and to use force against one another.
That is not violence.
Right. That is not violence. Force and violence, they're often spoken about as if they're the same thing, and they're absolutely the opposite. So, like, he was explaining this, like, taxes, and, you know, I don't care what tax it is. That is a form of violence.
It is violence against you,
because
the American
they're harming your property, which is you.
Correct.
If you produce, let's say you produce a widget and they tax you on it, they're basically owning your body. You are a slave.
They're stealing from you.
They're stealing from you.
Per your Constitution.
No, it's not. It's so you got to understand what violent means, Ken Blev. It's a forceful sport, but violent means that you're doing something against someone. Okay.
That's like Matrixxx is trying to explain the definition of the word violence. They have conflated the word violence, much like they've conflated the word immigrant. You know how so the word violence doesn't mean
racist.
Right, and so, racist. Exactly right. That's the point of what he's saying.
You guys are getting all off track now. Blood made for profit. Yeah, but they are willing people, and they can do that to their body, and it's not my choice, not your choice.
Violence is whenever someone does something to you that is against your will.
Yes, and it's not saying that you're against. There is no difference. There is force is opposite of violence. Okay. You're thinking that violent means if you come up to me and you want to harm me and hit me, that is violence. That's violence because you're actually trying to harm my body. But if two willful people that are sovereign, which means no king can rule them,
and making choices of their own volition,
and want to get into a ring and use force against one another,
it's not violence.
It's not violence.
It's boxing, it's karate, it's martial arts, it's sport, it's whatever you want to call it, but it's not violence.
That's right. And I'm using you, and I'm not picking on you at all because I didn't know either. Look at bully. Yeah, a bully is violence, right? And you have the right to use force against that bully.
That's right.
Okay, that's not violent. So when a teacher says, "Oh, Bobby and Jimmy were fighting and they're both wrong," no, the one that caused the violence is wrong. The other one that was protecting his rights is right.
So self-defense is not violence.
That's right.
See, guys, this is very. It seems kind of picky here, but it's really reality. They have conflated all of our conversations,
yes.
And we have to start getting our conversations back. We have to know what a racist is. We have to know what an illegal alien is, what a legal immigrant is, what is violence. All of these things, the whole thing, everything
yes.
is about restructuring our conversation so that we can be the information that people can understand whenever this whole thing is getting ready to pop right now, guys. Everybody, you got to wake up. This is getting ready to pop. People are getting ready to really realize that the deep state of America that's 150 plus years old has tried to remove a duly elected president. A lot of people don't know that still. A lot of people do not know this, and it is out in the open now.
So I want to stay on topic here real quick, and then we'll move on. Shady, great words right there, brother. Force.
You too.
Force is the capacity to do work or cause physical change, energy, strength, or active power. We are trying to use our force together, and things are happening because of, because we're all thinking about it and making this happen. We forgot our power. It's called the law of attraction. That's why a lot of this stuff is happening, because we are here together focusing on it. Violence is the immoral initiation of physical power to coerce, compel, or restrain. Again, and this is Mark Passio. He's amazing. I'd love to get him on the show. He was on Alex Jones. I saw that interview. Alex Jones talked all over him. It was disgusting. I want him on here so he can have a real interview.
3 words.
Yeah, exactly. So force is action which is in harmony with morality and natural law, because it does not violate another right. So if Antifa comes up and wants to start crap at a MAGA rally, that is violence. But us fighting back is actually force. And we have that right.
Also, us defending our country is not violence.
That's right.
Because we're defending our country. Matrixxx and I defending our position in this war against them over there. Defending your position is not violence.
Violence, coercive action, which is in oppression to morality and natural law, because it involves a violation of others' rights, like taxes, like hurting me and wanting to harm me because I vote for Barack Obama or Donald Trump or whoever you want to vote for, which it is your right.
Like the nutbags that went on Senator McConnell's lawn.
Yes.
Threatening to stab him in the heart.
That's violence. They were infringing on his right to be in his own home.
And Twitter took down his account whenever he put up the video of what they did to him.
And that's violence too.
I have that video up.
Twitter locked McConnell's account, Carly.
Well, now the Republicans are pulling all their ads off of Twitter.
Yeah. So force action which is one always possesses the right to take, includes defense against violence. So action which one always possesses the right to take. Okay? That includes defense against violence. And again, the last thing on the violence, all the way up on the upper right hand, is action which one never possesses the right to take. So if they want you to take a vaccination, that is violence. If they say that you can't have a beer because it's prohibition, that's violence.
Correct.
If they want to tax your wages, violence.
Correct.
Do you guys understand?
Not sporting matches and football games.
Right. Those are two teams coming together willfully in an exhibition of force.
Correct. Or a show of strength, or a test of strength.
That's right. An
like
action against you. Exactly. And that's what we need to understand, guys. We have been so fooled. And people, get over to Mark Passio, whatonearthishappening.com. Go watch. If you don't watch anything, watch The Natural Law.
Well, that's kind of what
Q's talking about, guys.
Yes, that's what Q's talking about. That's what if to get off of the holy see means to come off of maritime law, means to go back to the land, get back on the land, which means to put our courts back in a position of common law, which means common sense, which we have a common shortage of.
Yeah. Absolutely. and we're sitting here, we are being, Twitter violating my right to speech is violence.
Yes, YouTube suppressing our videos and erasing our subscribers is violence.
That's right.
You need a sound bite for violence.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's like a glass breaking or something.
Violence. She blinded me with violence.
She blinded my violence.
Listen to Joe Biden speak of violence.
All right, guys. So we have to have fun a little bit, right? Because this is some crazy stuff. All right. So again, a citizen, forget off-duty firefighter, because they want you to think that only police, firefighter, people of authority, which is taking away your rights, because you're a slave. You are not a sovereign being. If you understand what the word sovereignty means, it means basically no control. You are higher above any king or queen. You are in control of you, is what that means.
Yes.
Okay.
It means you answer to no one unless you harm someone.
Patty, we're going through the Epstein docs in 1 second.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at them and trying to think about not being violent. I mean,
using force. We're going to use force because this is the Great Awakening, and we are going to come together and realize that this is morally wrong, and nobody can tell us otherwise. Having sex with young children is morally wrong.
I don't care how you spin it.
I don't care how you spin it. So that's what it is too. Like, people think that we need to have a government controlling us, but let's zoom out. Let's say it's just me and Carly. If Carly, it's just me and Carly, and this applies to all population. It doesn't matter how many people are in this world, but let's zoom it down to just 2 people. Okay? 2 people. It's me and Carly. And Carly wants to take a hit of marijuana. Okay? I don't like it. I don't condone it. But actually, there's no rules to stop her to do it, because if there's a rule to stop it, that would be violence. You understand? She has the right to go ahead and ingest some marijuana. Now, if she goes out and goes crazy and starts hurting people, then she is being violent, and then she's dealt with. But nobody can tell her what to do with her own body, because anybody that tells you that you can't do something to your own body. Now, I'm not saying, go out and do lines of coke and whatever, but they have the right to do that. They might hurt themselves. They just don't run into the government for help. But you guys have to realize that we need to stop worrying about everybody else, worry about ourselves. And if it's morally wrong, it's wrong. Okay? And that goes for everybody. I mean, that go if it's did I explain that? Shady, you want to help me out with that a little bit? What do you think?
I think that the reality of our conversation has been so skewed, and it's really the most difficult to get ourselves back to the simplistic form of conversation, and within you and I and all of us are talking about all this crazy stuff to find, okay, we have this common ground in what we think or what it is, and then we have this other ground into what they say it is, and we're all trying to interpret. And it really, we've come to a point here where each of us has to recognize our own power. And I think that's what a lot of the Q thing is about. I think it's about each person recognizing your individual power to not be influenced by others if you don't want to be. That's one thing that we have a major problem with. We're all trained like monkeys to be influenced by what the next person says, and then social media comes back behind that and reinforces that. So we're out of the conversation on that loop, and so that puts us on our heels a little bit whenever we say to stand in our power.
D-Doll, we shouldn't have any tax dollars going to anybody about their body, because they own their body. You are taking away somebody's possession.
That's right. And so if you think about all of these laws,
we are condoning violence by paying taxes.
That's right. And the idea of the country was to not pay them. I mean, the idea of the country was founded on the tariff. Okay, so if the tariff pays for all the fees to run the government and to run the country, so what do we need taxes for?
Because they want to own you, because you're a slave. Now,
that's right.
And usually the things you're talking about, churches would take care of, and people would donate to churches, and they would help people with addiction problems or homelessness or food. Now they get rid of the churches. We become more dependent on the government, and they need our taxes so the government can put violence on people by saying, we're going to do this and take care of you and do this for you.
And but we can even simplify it a little bit more and say that, what if how do we make them like this? Okay, so to think about, how do we engineer them? How do we make them like this? The only way we can make them like this is to steal what they have. Because if everybody in America has what they need, guess what? There's no violence. but no one has what they need. And so the way that you make everyone have what they need is you steal from them. So they've spent 100 years that what we've been screaming and yelling at the top of our lungs about, the Federal Reserve stealing our wealth, and that that violence is the problem. That's the problem. Reaction solution. They take it away from you, and then it makes you what? It makes you think you got to take someone else's away. It's a micro, macro, fractal type. What is here is there. And so they engineered it. They engineered it by stealing from us. And so then we decide that we don't have anything. If we start taking from other people, but if the money had value, no one would take from anyone.
Yes, and Judy says Jay Castro, doxing is violence. Absolutely. Doxing people is violence. Yes. People, what they're doing to me is violence. The trolls, that's violent. Violence,
yes.
Guys. And so we have to realize that, guys. So let's move on real quick. First of all, I want to say trust Ray. I was at the Table of Titans yesterday, and they were saying not to trust Ray. Do you remember the people that said don't trust Sessions and what Q said?
Yep.
What So I still trust Ray, guys, especially after the sleeper one.
I think that we got the information that said trust Ray, and nothing has been said to the contrary. There was a tweet about sleeper, but we don't know if that could have been a comment to activate some other assets that are laying in the grass. Just saying.
Yes, and
just like the assets that were laying in the grass over Sessions.
I trust Ray, and I have a bet there with who's it? Where's my bet? Who do I? Oh my gosh! Why did I just scroll?
You have a bet?
I have a bet saying that I trust Ray, and I trust the plan, and I'm betting with where is she? Oh my gosh! Let me just Sandy. I'm betting with Sandy. We got
Sandy White.
We got $1 bet. We got $1 bet.
$1 bet.
Yep.
Sandy doesn't trust Ray.
That's okay. She can have her opinion. I fully respect that. I mean, I want people to understand that I'm not
agreeing with her opinion is violent.
Oh my God.
What? Carly.
Putting me on a show, like unknowingly attacking me is violent too. Table of the Titans, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Red pill. 78. Sorry. Woo, I had something stuck in my throat. All right, so look at this. This is the Bruce Orr 302s came out, but you know what? I read through it all. Anons know it all. We've already been through this. We
know it all.
This is all stuff that is finally out in public.
And you know what I was thinking about this morning? Interesting, what I woke up thinking about this morning is I was thinking about life after General Flynn can start to speak again.
Oh.
Wow!
And whenever he gets behind a microphone the next time and stands in front of a crowd, what this man is gonna say,
cry.
Because I'm telling you, man, and guys, and this is you can take it for whatever you will, but none of this would be happening without this gentleman. I don't care. You can say this is real, that's real. This man was the reason that we are all here today, and all of you guys out there for the future, please just do not forget to tell your kids and to make sure your kids tell your kids about this man.
Yes.
Because this man, I am convinced, and you can say what you will.
I have a feeling our kids will know this man, friend.
I'm convinced that this man saved our republic, is considered to me a George Washington type figure in our reality, who came along at a time whenever everyone else forgot to stand up for her, and I mean America. And this man, he stood up for her, and he took the bullet. And the moment that this guy starts to speak to the public again, whenever he knows that his family isn't in danger any longer from these goons that they keep spouting on the TV, that 90% of the FBI are stand-up guys. I'm sorry, but that's a pretty dang list of treason I read yesterday, and it made me even more upset to see that list of how many of these stand-up guys I keep hearing about every time I turn on my freaking Mockingbird news.
And the mods just dropped the link to the Michael Flynn Defense Fund. If you got $1 today, if everybody right here and tell them the Matrixxx Groove Show sent you, they do know that we've helped them out quite a bit, and they're very thankful.
I'm talking about General Flynn, Sophie.
Yeah, General Flynn. Mac, I love you, brother. He and I've got a poem right here on my wall that I look at every day. Thank you, Mac. And he says, thank you for all you do. Pure gold sauce dropped every day. Best freaking show, hands down. To all the haters, where we go, one we go all. I love you, all my Patriot brothers and sisters. I love you, Mac.
We love our haters, too.
We do. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be over any targets.
No, that's right. Well, we wouldn't know we were out of the echo chamber, would we?
That's right. That's right.
Because I can't hear him anymore.
Yes, Donna Shelley says Flynn Friday. Absolutely. MichaelFlynnDefenseFund.org. Thank you, Kiwi. Also, look at this. Here's the Bruce Orr. Bruce Orr, blank, so we know that, right, Orr met with Christopher Steele in 2007, sometime before before the tenant. Orr met. So we kind of have a lot of the redactions in here, Orr met Christopher Steele in London at remember the picture of the hotel. There was the Corinthian Hotel. There was also the what is it called? Ferris wheel, all that.
Yep.
We've got pictures of it.
And guess what?
What?
I heard yesterday that John Durham has spent an awful lot of time over there in the last few days.
He's been all over Europe. I tasted off of Hannity
Europe
last. He's been to Italy.
That's
He's
what I
been
heard.
to Ukraine.
I heard
He's been
that
to
too, Charlie.
Australia. 5 Eyes, baby. 5 Eyes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the United States Department of Winning.
Dun, dun, dun. How's that one?
No, that one's off key. Don't do that one. That's off key.
All right, how about this one?
I don't like it off key. No.
Excuse me.
You're just going to play them all because you're doing that
I was
all
up
night,
all
so you-
night. Queued up says, here's your coffee, guys. Blessed up. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you. Queued up. All right, so we're gonna just
We're being shot out of a cannon here.
Oh my, we are, because I mean, look at what just came out.
Well,
Here we
it's
go.
Friday, and we got all this stuff going on.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. G. Maxwell was a hunter, and the reason why I say that is here, one of the non-parties Jeffrey named repeatedly in the joinder motion was Maxwell, according to the lurid details of Giuffre, I hope I'm saying that right, include the motion. Maxwell personally was
No
involved
way you're saying that right.
in a sexual abuse,
She snorted.
and sex trafficking scheme created by Epstein.
Yep.
Maxwell approached Giuffre in 1999, where Giuffre was 15 years old. I don't want to even do dun 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 to that because this is not funny.
No.
Maxwell was one of the main women Epstein used to procure underage girls for sexual activities. Maxwell was the primary co-conspirator with Epstein in his scheme. She persuaded Giuffre to go to Epstein's mansion in a fashion very similar to the manner in which Epstein and his other co-conspirators coerced dozens of other children.
And for anyone who doesn't know what he's reading from there, we are reading from the Epstein case files.
And who is Maxwell and whose wedding was she at?
She was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding with the whole cabal crew, clowns
There
and
you go.
I
Rothschilds.
dropped
Boom.
the document right there in chat, and there's others.
Boom.
There's other documents too.
We got
guys.
other stuff, guys. This is fresh
huge day
information
today,
that
guys.
we are just
Huge.
now going over.
This is a 76-page document, okay? And let's do a Control F, and let's do Trump. Let me see. Wait.
And this is going to give the a really good amplification to people who can connect this
All right, it's
Maxwell
not in this
lady of Epstein.
Sorry, it's not in this one. It's in our next document, but I want to show you that.
No, but this is going to show all those articles they put out about Epstein.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, has nothing
we
to do
got
with
Epstein
Trump,
in-
and they always put a picture with Trump and Epstein. And these papers are going to. When's it going to come out? What you guys are going to read?
Well,
Right.
I mean, this the Ghislaine character. Why is it? Where's she? What? She's just walking around with all this information. Like they don't prosecute. Like people are going to be very upset when they learn what's really in.
So at the mansion, Giuffre began giving Epstein a massage. He and Miss Maxwell turned it into a sexual encounter. And she's 15, guys. Epstein, with the assistance of Maxwell, converted Giuffre into a sex slave from 1999 to 2002. You guys.
Not prosecuted.
Because they thought she would never win. Because guess who's at the place all the time too, guys?
No accountability because of what has been going on in your government for the last 40 years. Easy with the top, at the top.
Giuffre was forced to watch Epstein, Maxwell, and others engage in illegal sex acts with dozens of underage girls, guys.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of people that are part of this.
And I have a daughter that's 16 years old, and this pisses me off.
Well, it gets all of us fired up.
Well, are these the papers that were closed and were not used as exculpatory evidence in the Florida case originally with Epstein?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know that as a fact.
Because he was...
I don't know what these are. We can go back. I'm just reading what this is. I don't know that for a fact, though. Do you know that for a fact?
I was thinking so.
All right.
Because these are just being released. These were closed after the last case.
That's what I thought.
Watch said that, or whoever said, we want these papers opened, and now it's showing all the stuff that if this was in the court case and was allowed to be seen, he wouldn't have walked. And a lot of these people wouldn't be walking around now.
So the Second Circuit issues its mandate to unseal a large tranche of Jeffrey Epstein-related docs as an old docket becomes public for the first time, developing, and we will provide details and documents as they emerge.
We're working on editing. Hashtag.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
they're going to try to scrub this and twist this anyway. Well, I'm trying to see how they're going to twist it. At this point,
guy's really not twisting it.
No, he's not yet. But I'm just talking about like how they're going to spin this coming out in the news because they're going to be caught flat. They're caught flat-footed on this right now.
I mean, it has the flight logs, the photographs, the victim identification letter, New York hospital records,
interview back and forth with Maxwell is in here.
Yep.
I mean, like they're guilty. They're admitting it.
Yeah, this is all guilt. My God, dude.
And the guy gets a sweetheart deal where he got what was it, like 10 months? He went to prison for 10 months.
I will sue you.
Was he even in prison? He was hanging out at his own house.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he had the
so-called work release.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he was trying to work out again. He offered him everything he had to get out of those four walls.
So let's look at this one. All right, so this is Giuffre again. Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. That part is true. He didn't take part of any sex with any of us, but he flirted with me. It's true that he did not partake in any sex with us, but it's not true that he flirted with me. Donald Trump never flirted with me, guys. Then the next sentence is, he'd laugh and tell Jeffrey, "You've got the life." I never said that to her. When you say he didn't partake in any sex with any of us, who is us? Girls. How do you know Donald Trump had sex with? Oh, I didn't physically see him have sex with any of the girls, so I can't say or who he had sex with in his whole entire life or not, but I just know it wasn't with me when I was with the other girls, so it wasn't her or he did. Okay, and then question, and who were the other girls that you were referring to, that you were in Donald Trump's presence? A, none. There, I work for Donald Trump, and I've met him personally a few times. When have you met him? At Mar-a-Lago, my dad and him. I wouldn't say they were friends, but my dad knew him, and they would talk all the time. Well, not all the time, but when they saw each other. Have you ever been in Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's presence with one another? No. What is the basis of your statement that Donald Trump is a good friend? Jeffrey told me that. But you never observed them together. No, not that I can actually remember. Okay. So
he was trying to connect himself to him.
And he's not. Donald Trump is not connected. Look at this. Here we go. There's an eyewitness statement that Ghislaine was one of the ones who told about that, the one who flew Bill. All right. So if you just put it check by check, we'll just come back and talk about it. Okay. So basically, Ghislaine flew Bill Clinton in here, and this girl witnessed it. Then we're going to talk. Here it is. Ghislaine Maxwell went to Jeffrey, and Ghislaine Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Jeffrey had bought her.
So let's make sure everyone understands we're on the same page here. This is the quote unquote handler, aka of Jeffrey Epstein, who has a helicopter's license and who also can navigate submarines and is a European international woman of mystery.
Yeah. I know, right?
Okay, so it's like
It sounds like something out of a bad 007 movie.
Globetrotter extraordinaire, running around out here, flying people on helicopters and moving young girls around all over the planet. Who knows how? Calling herself a hunter.
I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill had Secret Service with him, and I remembered him talking about what a good job she did.
Oh.
Yeah. And
I'm like gonna vomit right now.
We're all feeling it.
Well, this is it. We have to come face to face with the truth, whether we like it or not, because if we don't, it'll keep happening.
That's right.
Yep.
That's why we're here.
I understand that, but I'm just saying. It's
I know you do.
You know, we've all known this for how long, and it's like now here it is, black and white. They've been hiding this for how long?
I mean, I've known about this stuff.
Calling us all conspiracy theorists and calling us all kinds of names and attacking with news articles and stuff to discredit all of us. And here it is.
Yeah.
I feel some vindication, but the fact that this really did go on, it makes you ill. It does.
I feel sad that we're right.
But
exactly.
but the truth, this is the truth. It's been going on for thousands of years on the face of this planet that we live on, and there's retribution.
Superior beings by now.
There's retribution that's playing out right now in the quote unquote rebellion, and justice is on its way because of shining light. The only way we're going to stop it is for everybody to know it's going on. The only way they're preventing us from seeing it is to convince us that it wasn't there. So once we show that it's there, as humanity, 7 billion people, we can't forget again, or it could happen again.
Did you meet Al Gore? Yes. Did you meet Heidi Klum? Yes. Did you meet Naomi Campbell? Yes. Did you go on a 6-week trip with Epstein in 2001? Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Did the FBI tell you?
Right?
Did the FBI tell you everything he did was illegal because I was underage? Yes. Who in the FBI told you that? Whichever agent I was talking to. The FBI knew, guys.
Jason Richards.
Jason Richards hashtag should be all over Twitter.
So he's probably one of the ones in the FBI that's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, we're also talking about Secret Service. That's another thing we're not really speaking. Remember the connections that Matrixxx and I have made to for the Paysor Trust, the trustees, the agents of the Paysors, the Secret Service connected to becoming the CIA. Secret Service didn't quit being the CIA. So the Secret Service is seeing Bill Clinton do all of these things.
Yeah.
This has happened. Dude, we had this information in the 90s, guys. Operation Vampire Killer. Go look it up. You'll see. It's all there. We knew they were hunting people. We knew they were taking them off to farms. We knew they weren't ever coming back. Read Kathy O'Brien's Transformation of America and what she talks about. She talks about the genitalia of these people. I mean, this is not hidden stuff, everyone, and this is the reason that we're here, is to bring this to light, because if it comes to light, then it never goes back to darkness.
All right,
there's only one way.
Here's the summary of it. Epstein did invite 2 young brunettes to a dinner which he gave on his Caribbean island for Mr. Clinton shortly after he left office. I've been there about 17 times. She's flown to the Caribbean with Jeffrey and Ghislaine Maxwell. Went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter Jeffrey had bought her. I remember she was very excited because she got her license around the first year we met. Ghislaine, excited about flying the helicopter and picking up Bill so they can molest children. Wow, excited. I used to get frightened with flying with her and Bill in Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. I don't remember seeing Bill again on the trip, but I assume Ghislaine flew him back. Virginia disclosed that Miss Clinton's Vice President Al Gore and wife Tipper were also guests on Epstein Island. Virginia said that another American liberal icon, Senator George Mitchell, frequently visited Epstein's New York residence. Mr. Mitchell, age 77, was very close to Virginia. To Jeffrey, Virginia recalled. I also met Naomi Campbell at a birthday party on her yacht in the south of France. She is a friend of Ghislaine's, but was a real bitch to me. Donald Trump was also a good friend. He did not partake in any sex of us, but he flirted with me. He laughed, said, "You've got the life," but that was actually redacted. Said he did not flirt with me because she lied. So here we go. Ghislaine took nude pictures of me lying naked in a hammock, posed with my legs open a bit provocatively, and I gave Jeffrey a few for his birthday. The hammock photo was all over the house, and Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew, had to have seen it. I spent 4 years as a millionaire's personal masseuse. She was living on the streets, beaten up, slept with 2 older men for return for food. While on the streets, she slept for men with money. She was a pedophile's dream. 3 years later, she was reunited with her family.
I mean, man, it's like, how can people behind the scenes, how can prosecutors read this stuff? How can FBI agents know about this stuff? Like, what is the line here?
Wait, shady, boom. FBI told me Epstein had hidden cameras watching me the entire time, even when I was in the bathroom. I was so embarrassed. The FBI told me everything he did was illegal because I was underage. I mean, look at this stuff, guys. I led Prince Andrew into the upstairs bathroom next to the room I was staying in. I was doing my best to try to put on a good show for him. Prince Andrew slowly undressing and started to pour a bath. He was caressing every part of my naked body and filling my head with endless compliments about my blossoming figure.
You mean whenever I turn on the TV, one of the royals who they pawn and feed and fall and claw over? Oh, Prince Andrew. Oh, the Queen. Oh, the Queen.
Oh, the weddings. We have to watch the weddings.
Oh, the Queen. The Queen. You gotta be kidding me, man. I've had it with this, bro.
Here's Exhibit RR. Here's Exhibit QQ.
Unbelievable.
So this is another one. I mean, you got to read these documents. I mean, they're absolutely disgusting, dude.
I'm listening to you read that, and I'm reading in a different place, and I'm disgusted over here about this.
I know.
You're disgusted over there about that.
And I don't know how much more we can handle of this, but let me go back to this too. This is the Adam
Unfortunately,
ones.
we're going to be talking about this a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe not today, but
again, we just kind of got this stuff, right? Let me get this other.
Yes,
document.
This is why
weeks of digging.
This is why Diana is dead. That is absolutely correct. And the Q post, if you want to connect to Q post, there's a couple, I think at least 2 or 3 that talk about Diana and them killing her and what happened. Everything that happened has happened because of the show. Right now, we're trying to take the show back and create a good show instead of an evil show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe the most simple way to put it. We're trying to take the narrative back and show the world how beautiful it is, as opposed to the narrative that currently says that you're completely screwed up and chaos and doom and destruction is on the horizon every waking second.
Right. And there's Q post with Diana. There they are. What happened to Diana? Who is the Queen of England? How long in power? With power comes corruption. What happens to Diana? What did she find out? Why was she running? Who did she entrust to help her flee? What was the cover? Why is this relevant? Why now? Old. Connection. News. Bad actor. London mayor. Background. Affiliation. Connection to the Queen. British MI6 agents dead. When? How? What was reported? What really happened? Why is this relevant? Wealth, corruption, secret society, evil, Germany, Merkel, migrants. Why are migrants important? Assets. What are assets? Define assets. Why are migrants so important? What are assets? Why are migrants so important? What are assets? Why are migrants so important? Operations. Satan. Who follows? What political leaders worship Satan? What does an upside-down cross represent? Who wears openly? Why? Who is she connected to? Why is this relevant? Spirit cooking. What does spirit cooking represent? Cult. What is a cult? Who is worshipped? Why is this relevant? Snow White, Godfather 3, Q, Speed.
There you go.
And with that is a great segue for this. Here we go. Let's check this out, guys.
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
This group will be awake for it. That's from Kofefe_45 MAGA _ MAGA. Dark to Light and Awakening. Very, very well done video, and I think it was very appropriate for right now today.
Absolutely.
And just remember, guys, as much as we feel so crappy this week, God wins in the end, guys. So keep up the faith. And, you know, what we're witnessing to, we are manifesting this truth by all thinking together, by all projecting this together, by Q asking us questions and us learning truth, putting aside our ego because it doesn't feel good. I'm not going to pay attention to it. We're actually paying attention to it even though it doesn't feel good, because we need to address these things. Because if we don't address these things, they're just going to keep happening over and over and over again. So we need to get our freedom back, guys. Wow. Wow. This is an amazing time right now.
The link I put in the chat.
What? Say it again.
I put a link in the chat.
Okay.
And it's, if you want to play this later, it's a song I did. It's I Know the Plans I Have for You. So it's a little soul healing after we go through all of this.
Very cool. Yeah, so this guy actually has a pretty good thread on all of this stuff. I mean, here you go. I'm sorry, I'd have to be about 17 at the time. I flew to the Caribbean with Jeffrey and Ghislaine. We read some of this. Wow, it's funny that we picked out some of the same stuff. Donald Trump was also a good friend. He didn't post the lie part. Okay, she lied about that back in here. Praying Medic, thanks for the information. There he is. But this is a very good thread. Let me see what I've got here. Boy, I've got so much. This is the other one. Let me see. Is this the one with the pictures? Wait. Oh yeah, here. Let's just quickly. These are Epstein posts. You know, we've known. There she is hunting. Okay. This lady on the left, on the right, was having sex with a 15-year-old girl, guys.
That's this lady on the right is who that was talking about that we were just reading. And you're going to see her with everyone. You're going to see her rubbing shoulders with every royalty you can imagine around the planet, at every G20 summit, at every Trilateral Commission meeting. These people are not hiding. They just think you'll never be interested in them.
Yeah.
And that is not true, because I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, these are all of the... NXIVM is also involved with this. LDR, Rothschilds connect to the Bronfmans. Absolutely. Find the Bridge, the Think Company. We know that Bronfman has... he's also connected to Alex Jones and InfoWars, the same lawyer.
Yep.
Allison Mack.
And now they're bringing out the Boy Scouts.
Yep. Well, they've just re-engineered the whole structure of the Boy Scouts quite recently, and that has turned into a mess.
Let's stay on topic with these posts, guys, because I'd rather have the sauce for that. But yeah, it's gross. It's the girl Boy Scouts, whatever they're called now. But welcome to Epstein Island. Ask yourself, is this normal? Right? Look at this, guys. Do you guys find anything odd about this? There's Bill Maher. So up here, where was he arrested in? New York. Where is NXIVM? New York. Ghislaine Maxwell, follow the family. It's everybody, guys. Powerful people connected. We are seeing it. We saw Al Gore we have had the truth, right?
Look at the dates on some of those posts.
For a long time, we've had the truth. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to go back here like all the way. Epstein Island, its very first appears in Q post, looks like, or Epstein in 133. So, going all the way back to November 11th, since we've been talking about the bloodlines. And this is, again,
Here, why don't you go ahead and read it?
All right. Hard to swallow, important to progress. I mean, we've went back to this post a lot because of the three sides of the pyramid that's stated and set up here. Who are the puppet masters? House of Saud, 6+++, 4 trillion plus. Rothschild, 6++, 2 trillion plus. Soros, 6+, 1 trillion plus. Focus on above 3. Public wealth disclosure, false. Many governments of the world feed the eye. Think slush funds, feeder. Think war, feeder. Think environmental pacts, feeder. Triangle has 3 sides. The eye of providence. Follow the bloodlines. What is the keystone? Does Satan exist? Does the thought of Satan exist? Who worships Satan? What is a cult? Epstein Island? What is a temple? What occurs in a temple? Worship? What is the temple on top of a mountain? How many levels might exist below? What is the significance of the colors, design, and symbol above the dome? Why is this relevant? Who are the puppet masters? Have the puppet masters traveled to this island? When? How often? Why? Vladimir Putin, the New World Order, worships Satan. Q.
That's a good
And
one.
interesting, I just kind of reading that post, I just had a flash to
We studied this.
Yeah, well, I just had a flash to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and what was going on in that movie, in the
Yeah.
temple. Remember
And
that?
the kids in the basement.
Or they were all the
kidnapped kids.
Yeah, all the sacrifice that was going on under the surface.
We should actually get Kiwi on here because he's done a lot of digging on the colors, the design, the symbolism.
Yeah, we found that stuff everywhere, guys, connected all the way back to what would be considered the first stories of the beginnings of humanity.
The Dome of the Rock.
Mu, Samaria,
Mhm.
Zachariah Sitchin's work all plays into this, and it's all any deep state discrediting that goes on is people who are trying to bring forth the truth, like Michael Tellinger and all these archaeologists that are trying to say, look, this was going on back here. They were a cult. They were sacrificing people. It's not any different. They've been saying this stuff, and now we're starting to draw all the connections. Matrixx, it plays right. Just like we were just irritated with the, what's the difference? The royal bloodlines. What they were talking about with Diana, who was trying to save her, Dodi, what's his name? I can't remember his last name. But, now that we know the schematic of the Iranian connections and all of the Muslim world connections and how, who could she trust? There's no one she could trust on any side. No one, she's thinking she could trust these people, but they're talking to the people that she can't trust behind her back. I mean, look, the game is huge, and they think none of us are ever going to wake up, man.
I know, man.
And I don't, we see what happened this past week with El Paso and Dayton and the moves that they were making and the moves that they're making now, and Joe Biden going out there in front of 30 people. There is really, I'm just really trying to figure out how the media, who knows all this information about Epstein, are going to continue to sit on their hands, or is it going to be a lot of evidence coming forward that shows that the media were actually complicit in this and decided to not report these stories because they weren't being honest, and then people wake up to that fact worldwide, really. We got to wake up to it worldwide.
The 302s are showing the connection with the media.
Yes. And well, that's exactly.
So like last night, here's Hannity doing a whole show about the 302s being released. And what is Herman Madcow doing? She's got on Nadler and his eyebrow talking about impeachment.
Oh yeah, they're starting impeachment. They said they're going to start impeachment, and no one heard them. No one even heard. Like it's completely in an echo chamber. Because see, now what they've done is they've doubled their echo chamber by setting off these shootings. They've doubled their echo chamber. So now they had all the coup stuff, and now they had to try to get above, and now they have this. Hey there. Now they have this to actually add on to that, so they're in their own bubble. No one's thinking about impeachment now. Everyone's thinking about all of the stuff going on with the shootings.
Yeah, well, it's the racist white supremacy. They're coming for us all.
They're drowning out their own message. They're losing impeachment in their own negative message. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Hey, Shady and Carly and audience, I want to welcome Kiwi Patriot. Kiwi, hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
There he is, live.
Hello.
We got him out. Everybody in chat, this is Kiwi Patriot.
Kiwi?
Yes, he's actually
a
Kiwi. Oh my God. All right, so really quick, I wanted to bring Kiwi on because we have been doing a lot of digging that it's really hard to actually put these into Twitter threads, and Kiwi and Pseudonym and the gang have been doing such amazing work. And we just read this post about the significance of the colors, the design, the symbol above the dome, all of this stuff, the temple on the mountain. Do you have any did you have any thoughts about this? How
just kind of lay some groundwork for the folks out there.
Yeah, so when Q posted that last image that referred to symbolism will be their downfall, and it was the Al Black style, which is like a black and another color, a black and a blank, or a black blue, just like Epstein's temple. That has been, I've traced that all the way back, all the way through history, through ancient Egypt, and it appears every time an evil, I'm going to say priest, seems to gain control over society and influence it, and something bad happens. But if you start looking around that photo that Q dropped, you'll see it's in Aleppo. Is this huge citadel fortress, one of the oldest castles in human history, hiding in the middle of Syria that I didn't even know existed. But the symbolism is all over this building.
Same.
Yes, that post of the bathhouse, quote unquote, was right across from the ancient city of Aleppo. And that is what the New World Order and the Satanists are trying to take control of. And it's been under siege for many, 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 many centuries.
That's right.
It's been contested all throughout time. And it's always been fought over. And this place, they say it's a natural occurring hill, but you look at the landscape and this doesn't look natural. It's really out of place. Yeah. And it's been hidden from us. Like when they talked about not even Syria, what did they call the war? They called it a civil war. But it's a whole town fighting this one little pop-up castle. It really got to look into Aleppo, and what the media says happened there versus what looks like happened there are two very different things.
Yes, and the ancient city of Aleppo, let's go ahead and pull that up. I was trying to pull it up, of Aleppo. Here we go. So this is the ancient city of Aleppo. It is in Syria. There's also, did you notice that dome that I found in there that was actually, did you see that? It almost resembled.
So,
go ahead.
Yep. Also, around.
There's the citadel.
The temple itself, or Aleppo, and the citadel, you'll see on the paving works the same symbols that Epstein used around his island.
Yes, you see that right there?
You can find those. Yeah. Well, on the ground, you can't see it in that photo, but there's like squares within squares, and then there's like squiggly lines, ancient Kufic square script. And that's if you look in, there's some Egyptian, they call it the precedence of the priests. It's like the lunar cycle for the Egyptians, and symbols are under 13 priests leading up to the Eye of Ra, I think it is.
Right.
Wow. So this is I'm trying to find, here we go. I'm trying to find good pictures. There's the symbolism right there. Right there, Kiwi.
And you see it on the ground, like now right there. Can you pull that picture up bigger? You'll see it on the floor. Their symbol. There you go. You can kind of see it better there.
There you go. And I can't make it bigger.
Those are actual words.
So that's the Aleppo citadel. That is the oldest, largest castle pivotal in human history. Now, I should also be the real Tower of Babel.
We actually
what's
suspect that this
left
is
of it.
right. This is what is left of the Tower of Babel.
Yes, Sophie, Cappy did post stuff about the bathhouses. Yes, and this is where it all happens. And
This is where it comes from. This is the people we're dealing with. The people that think that they can take little boys and do whatever they want with them is in charge of our world.
right.
Yes, and they have been for
centuries or for thousands of years.
And that bathhouse was right across the street, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
from
Like
this.
literally.
Look at this, guys.
Steps backward, turn around, and you're at the edge of that Aleppo citadel from the picture that Q posted.
What just happened?
It pulled up the site without the pictures in a different language. There you go. There it is.
There it is.
Here you go, guys. Now
And
look
it
at
is
this.
a UNESCO ancient city.
And so wonder what they're trying to destroy. Wonder why Syria and Libya and Iraq are so important, guys, because they hold the history of this cult.
It is, and they're all the same people. They've just disguised it.
Yes.
And they
The same people that-
disguised it by making it a war about oil, and that's not
And
what it
other
was ever
stuff.
about.
Yes, exactly.
And
correct.
we're noticing that they've disguised it by making things like the pyramids and Mayan culture, and it's all connected. Guatemala, everything. The world was connected before our modern civilization in a way that they lied to us about extensively.
Well, and
So
also
is
they
this
called it a
lie to
civil.
the way that, I'm sorry, the way they
war.
all look the
And
same. All
what's
these
happening in
different
America?
civilizations that they're trying to say that the ancient aliens built it.
Yes. And it actually wasn't. A lot of this stuff that, believe it or not, guys, a lot of whenever the Europeans came to America, there were government buildings here along with the Indians. I hate to tell you that, but there was a pre-existing civilization structure in America before Columbus. There's a lot more to this history than they want us. That's why the reason they're attacking us so fervently is because we're bringing information that no one has talked about for a long time.
Here's an Aleppo mosque with a lot of the same symbolism.
There you'll see it on the ground again, similar to what's on the ground in front of Epstein Island's temple.
Now, on Epstein's Island's temple, what is the Lulu? Because one of the Kofic words on Epstein's temple is Lulu. Is that correct, Kiwi? Is that what you found?
Yeah, so the squiggly snake-like line,
Go ahead.
well, from what I can tell.
Right.
And what would that mean?
Lulu means it means a slave, like a female slave for breeding.
Oh, and we did see an article saying that he wanted to go ahead and breed. So if you look right here, you see these squiggly lines right here. 1 second. LULU in these squiggly lines. And remember in, what is it, New Mexico, he wanted to seed about 25 children at a time. Remember that?
Well, it was. I think his intents were a lot
Correct.
more than that, and then we think about that connected with 23andMe and the owner of YouTube, and who are these people, and what are they really doing in eugenics? Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Zuckerberg's wife. What are Bezos? What are these people? They are involved in eugenics, and they do not have a conservative, quote unquote, viewpoint on reality. They have more of a robotic, transhumanist, singular, sexual orientated viewpoint on humanity, which is quite contrary to what I perceive as being the proper way to be human.
And that's why Gary Johnson didn't know anything about Aleppo, because he knows about Aleppo and he's not supposed to say anything about it.
He's paid good money not to.
Right.
All these reporters that you're seeing him show you right now are paid the great money that they are paid so that they keep their mouths shut about the truth. Not
Again,
they don't know the truth.
And a Q post, this is not just about sex trafficking, guys.
Worldwide slavery.
No.
Pray for the victims.
And it's, and that's one thing that I think a lot of people get very confused whenever we're studying this stuff and we're studying the cult. A lot of people, like let's say if you're thinking about like the world they're trying to create, the LGBT community, and trying to convince people there's multiple, 27 different genders. The reality is that's an illusion. That's a game. That's a spell. What they're really trying to do is project that there's only one. What they're trying to do is they're trying to erase any difference between the male and the female, making it singular, making it robotic, making you easier to assemble with a robotic future, as opposed to the dynamic of the dual of the female and the male inside the spirit, working back and forth to find balance. That's what we want to find, but their mission is to create as much imbalance as possible, so that none of us never ever stand up and be competent and question and theorize and do what we're doing right now, which is having wonderful patriot conversations about what it is that's really controlling us, as opposed to watching TV
Right.
and not really caring.
That's why I wanted to kind of zoom out just a little bit, because what came out today is how and what happened, but why did it happen, guys?
And how do
that's-
we stop it from happening again?
Yes, and showing
And
the
how
light.
long back does it go? It's not like we're trying to
That's
stop
it. We,
it. from the
we,
last
we need
30
to
years.
understand it. Yeah.
We need
Right.
to understand it so it doesn't happen again, right?
Well, how do you stop something that's been going on for centuries?
Just like
Exposing
this.
it to the light.
That's why everyone gets so impatient. When is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? You got to realize this has been going on since the beginning of time.
Everything that has to do with a royal bloodline has to do with this, and they are part of it. So, you look at your whole structure in Europe. Look at
Payseur.
what that is and what we were running from to make America to begin with.
Payseur
This is the reason
bloodlines.
America exists.
So remember this. Remember, everybody was saying don't trust Sessions. Now we got people saying don't trust Ray. Here's what Q said about not trusting Sessions. Sessions began the Epstein investigation. When that is revealed, to those who doubted may see the light. The wheels of justice turn slow, but when they turn, they are powerful. 10x speed now underway. We are back online. Pelosi attempted to block. So Ray is just waiting for his cue. No pun intended, in my opinion. Placeholder starts October 2019. That's why Q Research is down. Or is it down to expose the enemy? In warfare, sometimes you remove the flank in order to expose yourself to see who comes running in.
That's right. And also we had we know that the DNI director is out on the 15th, and 8chan went down on the 5th. That's a 10-day
That's right.
10-day gap between there. And also, wasn't it it might have been the day before Patriots fight went blank, but within, right here near a 10-day of darkness period leading into someone else who gets a position, who is the position to declass a lot. I mean, some of this stuff right here, I would imagine, is just simple declass of Florida public release, or is this through Tom Fenton? I'm not sure where this came out at.
This
What
came
the
out
portal
through,
was.
Yeah, it came out through, what is it called? Courthousenews.com.
Okay, gotcha.
Tom Fenton was the OR 302s. Now look at this. Throughout a mountain of briefing and even her own deposition testimony, defendant never offered an explanation regarding Geoffrey's photograph of her, defendant, and Epstein. She never offered legal explanation why Prince Andrew was photographed with his hand around Geoffrey's bare waist while she was still a minor child. While posing with defendant inside defendant's house in London, this particular photograph corroborates Miss Geoffrey's claims, or whatever, however you say her name, and the other reasonable explanations of why American child should be in the company of adults, not her kin, in the London house owned by the girlfriend of a now convicted sex offender. Miss Geoffrey also produced pictures of herself taken when she was in New York with defendant Epstein, and a trip when she was with the defendant. Now, also, she went in to describe how she ran a bath for this guy, and his hands were all over her, and she was young.
To a prosecutor
Right.
who decided that there was nothing to pursue.
And the FBI knew all this was illegal, and they did nothing.
Can you say
I'm so
blockade
concerned.
/ Mueller / Comey / Rosenstein / Swamp?
DNI.
Swamp. Well, a lot of this goes back before there was a DNI, bro.
Well, I'm talking about declassification. So.
Yeah. Now, but I'm saying, look back to when this was.
Q said,
Mueller was in charge.
why did the D-class, why did he go around DNI and give it to Barr? Well, we know why.
Yes, we know why.
We know why. We're going to get to that later. I still haven't done that thread. Damn it. All right, so this is Miss Geoffrey at the Zorro Ranch. This is the one in Mexico where they wanted to. The nude photos were include of defendant Geoffrey, who's young. She's females of the guys.
I'm almost certain that there is tunnels that connect that ranch to to Denver International Airport, connected to all the eugenics labs out there, Ridgecrest or China Lake. I think this is all underground connected, and they have so much going on beneath the surface. It's incomprehensible.
So this
And
is a
Denver
disturbing
Airport
purchase
is
to corroborate Ms. Giuffre's
really bad.
account of being sexually exploited by defendant Epstein, not to mention dozens of underage girls in the Palm Beach police report. Additionally, defendant testified that she was not with Jeffrey Epstein in 2005 and 2006 when he was ordering books on how to use sex slaves. You can get that
Books?
on Amazon.com.
Oh yeah, it's like, okay, so we can
It's disgusting.
Wow. Oh my God.
It's disgusting. There's massages, and they were talking about vibrators and stuff that shouldn't be, in front of little.
Well, I mean, I live in Oregon, and you can definitely see, especially whenever you go to places like Portland, you can see propaganda about sympathy towards pedophilia.
Everybody should watch
in
In the
public.
Matrixx and Matrixxx Groove.
whenever you're like walking around in public and you see propaganda that is saying that pedophilia isn't a crime or pedophilia isn't something to be ostracized from society, or it's like being
It's
gay.
morally wrong. Period.
We
it's against
have
natural
an
law.
issue, but I'm just saying,
Right?
man, in an American city, you can walk around and see propaganda on telephone posts that say pedophilia is not criminal. That's going on. It's not like a misnomer. It's not Europe. This is Portland.
Yeah.
They're trying to normalize this, especially on the West Coast, especially California, Oregon, and Washington. They are trying to normalize this for a push. Or if she would have won, trust me, there would be laws protecting pedophiles.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Kiwi.
It would have happened already.
Kiwi, going back to you too, real quick. Do you want to say anything else about the symbolism of this or anything like that? Like, do you have anything more you want to add at this time, my friend? I know I kind of put you on the spot.
No, I'm still digging. But it goes back to what I think is probably some of the first versions of, I'm going to call it the Matrixxx, but this whole plan of control.
The build. We kind of refer to it, guys. We refer to it as the different builds of the current Matrixxx that we're navigating right now as Anons, attempting to understand what it is the structure is that maintains the control system. It doesn't just end at these people. Our digging ends at wherever it is they started this experiment.
Well, and also, this isn't the first time they've done it. And
That's right.
The people that are running, well, I'm going to say running the world at the moment, other than the Patriots, who are starting to really get a good grip on things and really get control. But the people that are running this place and behind the scenes, they've done this before. They've controlled a whole world before, and they've caused it to fail. There's evidence of it happening.
Yes.
And we're going to stop it. This time, we're taking control, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Very good. Well said, my brother. Thank you. Say hi to everybody out there that you talk to.
Kiwi. Oh my God, awesome. You guys rock. Best chat.
We'll bring our mods in live, guys. What do you think about that? You get to hear him.
Yeah, it's awesome. And Kiwi, thank you, my brother. It's always
There's going to be a lot more winning coming up, Kiwi. We're going to have to get you back in on it.
And just so you know, it's next Thursday in New Zealand right now. Just so you know.
Yeah. Just so you guys know the timeline, it's a week from today in New Zealand right now.
We love you, Kiwi.
We try to keep up with him. He's always a day ahead of us. He's consistently staying ahead of us, Matrixxx. There's nothing we can do. We can't ever catch up with him.
I know, man. It's crazy.
He's like running loops around us, really, it feels like some days.
That's the Kiwi. Dun, dun, dun. How's that? And then we got Carly's. Okay, so look at this. Bill Maher joked about Bill Clinton joining Jeffrey Epstein on Sex Island. Oh, my God.
Really funny.
Now you're seeing it, guys, right? Now it's no longer a conspiracy. Now
hilarity.
You're absolutely right, and it does not feel good. But you know what? We need to keep praying on that. Let me go ahead and...
Those that Bill Maher and Jeffrey Epstein nose sure does look very similar to the Hefner nose.
Right. Oh, good.
Yeah.
There's something here, too. Look at this. Kiwi, I think he just left, but look at this symbolism right here.
He's here.
Oh, this is from Corey's Digs, by the way.
There it is again.
There's that symbolism that you see. You notice anything there? That's March, historical photo from the Virgin Islands. It was published March 2019 about the Virgin Islands History Month. Same pattern is on the government house in St. Thomas. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere.
Well, it seems to symbolize that a priest of the Al Black, which is, as far as I can tell, an ancient Egyptian serpent worshipping sect of priests that generally infiltrate systems of control and corrupt them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been going on for centuries.
And there's, and also Kiwi and I have been, we get into some amazing conversations.
Kiwi go way back.
We do get into some crazy.
You guys
really
have shovels
cool
too?
We have shovels, and we actually
what are shovels
we don't have
used
strings on our shovels like some people do. But we have shovels. But either way, with some of the stuff that we've been going over and looking at, what we can see, guys, just to give you a little glimpse into some of the stuff we're digging on. What we can see is pictures and photographs from, let's say, circa 1850, 1825, 1830 of Egypt. And they're trying to tell us that these pictures are recently excavated pictures of ruins. But in all reality, there's scrub brush with leaves on it right next to the recently excavated pictures of ruins. Same thing with other larger ruins. There's trees and palm trees and stuff growing right next to these quote-unquote half-built ruins, which look similar to a structure that is being created to incite an illusion to make us think we are in a little bit different of a timeline than we're actually in. Now, what is real and what isn't is still to be determined. But what we do know is that there's not trees and palm trees with leaves on them growing under 20 feet of sand. We are pretty confident that doesn't happen.
Yeah, look at there's the AT&T logo. Yeah. There's the IBM logo. I mean, it all.
Look on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Shows the palm trees and the blue and white and Matrixxx. You're right on here with the IBM logo. Look at what IBM connected with World War II. All these companies were working together.
So what did IBM do for World War II? They're the ones that created the database for the numbers on the Jewish people that were in the camps because they were doing mind control experiments on them, eugenics.
And they also are they were doing that, and they were also in charge of overinflating the numbers that were killed there to make it seem different than it really was.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what they did there, dude. I mean, it's crazy what they did with those experiments and keeping up with who was there and who wasn't and who died and who didn't. They kept up with all of it. They kept all that information on record before computers.
Guys?
Yes.
I have Fox on the whole time, all morning, all last night, and finally, just now, they're showing defendant Maxwell has never offered a legal explanation for what she was doing with and why she was traveling with.
You got Maxwell on the mainstream news?
On the mainstream news.
Whoa.
Okay. They're finally showing 2,000 documents showing, and they just showed a picture of the young girl but with the Z at the Zorro Ranch.
Dude, this is breaking right now.
This is breaking right now. How long have we been talking about this?
We've been talking about this for a year and a half.
Right.
All right, but I'm saying the documents came out and it was only on Twitter, and now finally Fox is showing this.
All right, Fox News, you can show the Black Book names too, because all of these people are complicit, aiding, and abetting. Look at these people, guys.
Look at this. Says she was forced to have sex with Alan Dershowitz and Bill Richardson.
Welcome aboard, Alan.
Hey, Alan, I thought you kept your underwear on.
Right?
Do you remember him saying that? He came on TV 2 weeks ago and Laura Ingraham said, "Oh, I just had a massage. I kept my underwear on." He said that on TV. Like, dude, if you're saying that on TV, you got trouble.
She was forced to have sex with him. This is the thing going by.
Welcome aboard, Alan. You might want to stay off Fox
from now on. The pictures of the young girl, they just showed her with Prince Andrew. And this is all happening right now.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And we've been talking about this for what, an hour and a half?
Since 2017.
No, but I'm saying today. Yeah, I'm saying today.
Yeah, they're breaking off. She's saying they're breaking off our news, Matrixxx.
Right.
They're breaking this story right now.
Nice.
They're plagiarizing.
No, they're not plagiarizing. They're darkening to lighting.
But I'm just saying how great it, I mean, it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible story. But look how we've all been breaking this for how long, and now it's just coming on the news. And they've had Alan Dershowitz on how many times?
He's on like almost every night with Laura Ingraham.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Because they've got to keep him legitimized. I mean, we know that Fox is 40% controlled by Saudi Arabia. So I mean, they're all controlled by the same.
Now they just had the little banner on, so I don't know if we're going to hear from our little Alan.
I think Mr. Dershowitz is done, and I think that maybe
a lot of people are going to be done soon, and you can't come soon enough.
I hope the president nominates Gowdy for DNI.
Oh, really? That would be so awesome.
Here's Q Post 1204. Allison Mack singing like a canary, as Alan Dershowitz would say. Canary, palm tree, signal, Q.
Q.
Alan, welcome aboard. Alan. Plane 17, Q.
What's up, Alan? The reason we're hammering on this guy is because they bring this guy on, touting him as like the leading constitutional attorney, like expert on all things law. I don't think he's very expert on all things law if he's having sex with underage children on an island. He's
and
kind
he wrote
of
the opening for the Mueller report, the book. I got the book in the mail. He wrote the introduction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't make it up.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
I can't keep up with the Hippocratic irony. I mean, what is this? What are we looking at? I don't know how to describe it, Carly.
You gotta laugh. This is why I laugh at these people. I see what they post on Twitter, and I just laugh at them because I go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's a card.
Oh,
He's got his card.
Come on, you guys
got a card.
If you guys ever want to search anything, go at intheMatrixxx and do any Q term or any term you want, and you will find it. I'm very well documented with these guys, let me tell you.
You got such a great website.
Well, that's not my website. That's Google. I know. Use DuckDuckGo. Well, you're not going to get the... I use both. I use all of the search engines because you get different ones all the time.
Each one of them are different now.
Yeah. So I actually use all of them.
Well, but Google's on high alert now because the president's got people probing into them.
I think he's getting ready to make some sort of move against. I'm not sure what he can do with this executive order. I was actually trying to think a little bit last night of what he can do with it. It seems like, a lot of this stuff maybe even organically is going to come up whenever people start to learn what the media was really hiding. Like systems can be implemented pretty quickly to ixnay the Washington Post and the New York Times and say, hey, we're not going to pay attention to CNN, MSNBC anymore. This is here. Here comes the information. The American people waking up to see it because they're not going to keep taking it. They're not going to keep absorbing it.
Now you see that building too, that Hammam Yal Buga building. See that circle? See the red dot? That is exactly where that place is located, guys. Mm-hmm. Right across. It's actually, they call it within the city of Aleppo, but it's right kind of like across the little street there. But it is considered obviously part of the ancient city of Aleppo. And then look at this. There's the glass there, the clock, excuse me.
The sundial at Epstein.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they do. Symbolism will be their downfall, guys. I mean, they want us divided, guys. They want us divided. Facebook survey, what Shady was talking about earlier, asks users if they condone pedophilia. Remember that? Worth remembering.
Yep.
Worth remembering. You're seeing all of this. Here's the armor of God. Q posted it again. I mean, so that's something that we need to really, really, really be prayerful. And with that, let me just go ahead and promise of my Lord, Carly Bonet.
Our prayers now. It's time to go to sleep.
But Mom, we're not tired yet. You know we can't sleep until you sing us a song.
Okay, one song and then right to sleep. Promise?
We promise.
Aw.
For I know the plans I have for you, plans not to harm you, plans to always prosper you. These are the words of my Lord. Yes, I know the plans I have for you, plans for your future. future, plans to keep you safe and sound, safe in the arms of the Lord. Though the world is sometimes rough and you don't know where to turn, you can always find comfort if you heed the words of the Lord. God has sent us Jesus to save us, to teach us, yes, forever love us. This is the promise of the Lord. Today there is joy in my life. Today I have salvation to spread across the nations. Share the word of my Lord, and there'll be no more strife. Cold hearts are melting, peace and love are abounding. This is a promise of my Lord. Peace and love everlasting. These are the promises of my Lord.
Is that Jeremiah 29:11?
I love you too.
That's beautiful. Aw. Carly Bonet.
Those
Wow.
are my babies.
Those are your babies too? Oh my
Those are
gosh.
my babies.
And
Oh God.
beautiful song. This is Jeremiah 29:11, right?
Yes.
It's in Q Post, just so you know.
That's I thought it would be perfect because
Q-
we're going through all this
It's perfect.
horrible stuff and I just thought,
It's perfect. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I wanted to show you guys too. Again, this was 4/12/18. This was post 11:37. Anon's asked for clarification on the number 17, and we got the answer. All right, so here we go. When can you confirm the number 17 was regarding the jerseys? When I asked yesterday for confirmation, Anons keep bringing up every other 17 under the sun. Alan, welcome aboard. Plane 17, not a jersey. There it is. Alan Dershowitz on
Q is pain.
Epstein's plane. Pain.
There it is. Pain coming. So hey Matrixxx, I got something here I wanted to go over real quick. Can I jump in there a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna grab the screen from you. Is that okay?
It is.
All right. I want to show you guys something if I can get the right screen here.
Let me go over to Windows Capture and
Let's see if it's
Zoom.
coming up. Number one, guys, I want to let you know that.
Wait, well, I'm sorry. Okay, while I'm doing it, go ahead. I'm sorry, Shady.
You good? Okay. All right. I just wanted to let everyone know a couple of things. Number one, I'm not going to be out tonight for the Q Lounge. I am leaving town right now for a big meeting. I have lots of really cool stuff going on in the background. I'd like to let everyone know that we have a real big future in CBD. We are getting ready to start a wholesale CBD line that is vetted, that I'm going to investigate this weekend to make sure that they've got their stuff in the right order and that I trust them. But really exciting things because of what's going on with American hemp right now. And so I'm not going to be doing a Q Lounge tonight. So I wanted to spend maybe like just a few minutes here real quick. We had to dig into some crazy, disgusting things today because of what's breaking in the news. But I wanted to just show you your president and to connect you back to Matrixxx was just showing you the Hot 12. And we're talking about August being the hot month. And we've talked about the Hot 12 being possibly the 12 branches of the Federal Reserve. And the president is attacking the Federal Reserve with such vigor that it's inspiring to me. Like I wake up in the morning like, what's he going to say about the Federal Reserve today? Because we've really been had these guys in our sites for a long time. So I want to read two sets of tweets that your president made about the central bank this week, so that you can see that what he's saying matches exactly what we're saying about the Federal Reserve and what Q's saying and what the truth is. He says this: 3 more central banks cut rates. Our problem is not China. We are stronger than ever. Money is pouring into the U.S., while China is losing companies by the thousands to other countries, and their currency is under siege. Our problem is a Federal Reserve that is too proud to admit their mistake of acting too fast and tightening too much, and that I was right. They must cut rates bigger and faster and stop their ridiculous quantitative tightening now. Yield curve is at too wide a margin and no inflation. Incompetence is a terrible thing to watch, especially when things could be taken care of so easily. We will win anyway, but it would be much easier if the Fed understood, which they don't, that we are competing against other countries of whom want to do well at our expense. There is so much right there in that, and I think that most of the people that are out there listening to my voice would understand what is in this, but he is saying to you verbatim, this is what he's saying, and we talked about this a little bit on the lounge last week. We have not had a system in America since the 1920s where America was taking in tariffs. Everything was switched over to the Fed, took away your ability for your treasury to hold currency, to hold value. They gave that up to the Fed. What's happening right now is you, America, your coffers, the Treasury has taken in almost $350 billion in tariffs. Well, guess what, guys? Those tariffs are not in the Federal Reserve. They are running concurrent like parallel on the tracks. We are making a new economy. That new economy is going to be based on tariffs. The tariffs are going to run your government in a sustainable manner based on accountability and facts, real facts in the Treasury. We are going to cut off this limb of the quote-unquote Federal Reserve and bring it into the reality that is the actual economy, a real economy. The economy that is not backed by metal is a facade. It's a fiat. So that is one set of tweets I want to show you, and I know this might be a little bit long-winded.
And Shady, while you're getting there, nobody's talking about the Federal Reserve, the antitrust. Nobody. No Titan, no nobody.
There's so many articles about antitrust this week. I can't even believe it. I've got like 10 of them up here right now about antitrust. It's coming out about Google, about Amazon. Even they're talking about Monsanto. Bayer is admitting that Roundup causes cancer. Right. There is so many antitrust things going on out there that it's almost impossible to keep up with. And I'm really trying to keep up with this. Financial stuff is so compelling that I couldn't resist getting
ready
into
for
this
a reset. What do you think?
I think that we are looking at a shift. I think we're going to, what happened in 1971 was that they worked for 45 years building a parallel economy based on the petrodollar. So they acquired all the oil in the Middle East circa 1890 something in Iran. They set up the regime in Iran. Then they created World War I out of the oil in Iran. Then they systematically made you think that your country didn't have any more oil, so we had to buy oil from over there. That was total BS. Created two world wars and all kinds of other wars as proxy wars because they had two resources of oil and they could play two sides against the middle. This is coming to an end because what they did was they were building the parallel economy to the petrodollar for 40 years per 1933. Now the president, it looks to me like this is what it looks like. It looks like he's engineering that backwards. In other words, we're engineering a parallel economy based on tariffs, the way the country's supposed to be run, and gold, and getting the dollar back on the gold standard, which would, in my opinion, completely ixnay the need for what the Federal Reserve does, which is all of this currency manipulation. We can print our own money. So to kind of back that up, and we'll read this next set of tweets by him because he is focused on it. He said it. He talked about it again in his conference today about the Fed, or his interview there. As your president, one would think that I would be thrilled with our very strong dollar. I am not. The Fed's high interest rate level in comparison to other countries is keeping the dollar high, making it more difficult for our great manufacturers like Caterpillar, Boeing, John Deere, car companies, and others to compete on a level playing field. With substantial Fed cuts, there's no inflation and no quantitative tightening. The dollar will make it possible for our companies to win against any competition. We have the greatest companies in the world. There is nobody close. But unfortunately, the same cannot be said about our Federal Reserve. They have called it wrong at every step of the way, and we are still winning. Can you imagine what would happen if they actually called it right? And you're seeing the media attack him. I saw 4 or 5 different articles yesterday coming out attacking this set of 3 tweets right here as off the target and off mark. And they're all attempting. If you watch them on TV, every single person you see talking to you on TV has some connection to the CIA intelligence structure that keeps you asleep. And they disagree with every single statement said in that set of 6 tweets that I just read to you. They all disagree with that. We as Anons agree with that. Matrixxx, Carly, Kiwi, and all of us agree with this theory right here that the dollar does not belong in a system, a third-party controlled system. Americans are well capable of producing their own dollars and of being in charge of our own finances through the Treasury, like the Constitution says. This is the head of the snake. If we cut off this head of the snake, a lot of our other woes start to go to the wayside, guys. So I wanted to throw a positive message out there since I'm not going to be around tonight. I love everyone so much, and I want you guys to go into this weekend with a positive message. Don't worry about 8chan. Recognize that you have all your information. Don't worry about the doom and gloom, but start waking people up to the facts. A deep state coup attempting to subvert a duly elected president. That's your lead in. You got all the evidence. It's all right out front. General Flynn is a hero. Think about that. He's being painted as a traitor in the mainstream media by all of them on the other side. With that, Matrixxx, I'm going to wrap it up.
What's Trump's new tweet real quick? Check it out.
Okay, I'm not there. I didn't see it yet. He's got a brand new one?
Yeah, go check it out.
Oh, it's about Hollywood.
And let me go back to Zoom for you.
Okay, I can switch out.
Nope.
The one where he comes up on top here?
Yeah, it'll be on top. Let me just get this picture out of the way. Hang on. There you go. Is it talking about Hollywood?
Well, I had a flash on my phone that I saw.
That one's
Hollywood.
illegal immigration.
Refresh.
I can drop it back to you, though.
No, because I already wrapped everything up. So we're out of here, guys.
All right, guys.
Just know that, yes, there are a lot of other great shows, and thanks for dropping them in my show all the time. Why don't you go drop my show in other shows?
Please.
I would really appreciate it. And have maybe the Titans have me on because I'm a Titan. Shady's a Titan.
Am I a Titan?
You're a Titan.
All right.
I mean, you've only been queued once. I've only been queued 16 times. Carly's been queued once. I don't know, man. You know, we really got to realize who is who in this movement. Learn for yourself. Think for yourself. Nobody is talking about the pay-sewers. Nobody is talking about the pay-sewers. Nobody is talking about the Federal Reserve System like we are. Nobody. Not even X22. And I'd love to be on X22 report too. So we would talk about it with him. He does do some good stuff. I love everybody, but I want you guys to know that yes, I do look at other people, and as we should all. But you know, it's funny how people drop everybody else's show in there in here. Go watch it. Go check it out. I love it. And I don't know, man. I'm just at the point where we need your help. We need to keep getting out of this message. We are being stifled for a reason because we are talking about the pay source. Every time I dropped a pay source link in the chans, boom, attacked. Every time, the first time I mentioned the word pay source, I was a satanic pedophile trafficker with war drummer Paula C. Blades, guys. Okay.
We've been through it, haven't we?
I've been through it. I've been through the mud. More than I've even been through. The Titans dragged me through the mud. And that's violence, guys. What Paula Blades is doing to me is violence. Okay? And my force is the Great Awakening and praying for all these bad people. And you guys, thank you very much. I just want to wish you guys a great weekend. I am going to go have a great weekend. Carly, do you have any more? What's your final thoughts here, Carly?
Hit him with the sidearm, Carly.
Okay, here we go, guys. Everything you see on the boob tube is a joke. Like Q said, you're watching a movie. These are all characters. You know the truth. You're being fed the truth on this show and other shows. I'm not going to deny anybody else. There is other good information out there, but you know the truth. You can read it for yourself. So when you see these bozos on the TV, do what I do. Just laugh at them. Enjoy it. Enjoy the movie. It's General Hospital. Soon it will be one life to live. And you have to choose which life are you going to live. God bless you all.
God bless you. And it really is right versus wrong. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't care what you want to label yourself. Guys, this is the Matrixxx Groove Hour. A lot of stuff to dig on this weekend. Check out the tweets from Carly at KBQ225, right, Carly?
Yep.
Yep. And then Shady Groove with 3 O's. And guys, man, let's go. I mean, keep the faith. Keep it positive. It felt really horrible this week because they've casted spells on us. Break it. You have the power to break that spell. Keep the armor of God on. In the end, God wins. Just know that.
The United States Department of Winning will never let you down. Guys, please have a wonderful weekend out there and take care of yourself and your family, and do not hesitate to speak up with people who are asking questions. This is the time. We are the news now. Anons worldwide. You are the news now. You have the information. You are wise to the con, guys.
The big con. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shady. Thank you, Carly. It's a wager, and I can't wait to lose this. I love you. You guys, thanks for listening to us. Thanks for sharing our show every day. We love you guys very, very much. This will be broadcast on Periscope at 17:17 p.m. Eastern today. Go ahead and retweet it. YouTube.com/C intheMatrixxx every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Be here. And if you're not here, watch it later. It's okay. Same link. Same bat channel. Much, much love, guys. Peace.